a lot of people are terrified about where AI is going to go and whether or not the AI is going to turn on us and kill us. My opinion, honestly, is I think that's humans projecting humanity onto the AI, because humans are like, well, what if they hurt us and then we go bomb them? Like, it seems psychopathic when you really think about it.
All right, guys, we got Jesse on fire out in Vegas. Let's go, baby.
Let's do this, dude.
How much did you gamble last night?
0, actually, which is rare for me to be in Vegas and not gamble, but I didn't play at all, actually.
Played it safe?
I played it safe. I was tired, man.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah.
A lot happening with Epstein, man.
Dude, what do you think? You think if you had to bet your life on if someone's leaning on Trump and that's why, like, I think it's fair to assume now Trump's definitely in the file that Comey and them turned over. But if you had to bet on whether there's something that like an entity is actually leaning on Trump about, where they're like, you need to make this go away or else, you think they got something like that?
They'd have to be really powerful, but it's possible, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
it's always possible. I think that the thing about him though is if you look at like how he campaigned, the best term I ever heard, we're swearing on here.
Yeah, you can.
Ben Shapiro said that Trump is a mud monster, and he's like, because anything you throw at him, he just absorbs it. It doesn't matter. So it would have to be something real fucked up.
Yeah.
You know, it would have to be something real fucked up. That's why I don't think Trump fucked kids. You know what I mean? So my guess is if it's anything, it would have been some kind of, because he was buddies with Epstein back in the day. Like, you know, it seems like good buddies. You look at those clips of them together, they're laughing and like looking at chicks and stuff. And if you know for sure that Epstein's entire purpose of interacting with all these people is specifically to entrap them into material that he can use against them, or whoever's running them can use, it wouldn't be hard, I don't think, to get Trump to say something really stupid into a phone call. You know, if that's the type of the relationship that they have, and you know, Epstein made some comment about some girl that he had that's like in high school, and then Trump kind of, you know, go, oh, you know what I mean? Like, imagine how damaging that would be now if it was if authentic call, even if it was 30 years ago, and he acknowledged that he, you know, fucked around with like a high school girl, and then Trump said something kind of affirming it in any way. Like that's the only thing that I could think of that would make sense.
Yeah, it'd be hard to think of something, because with Trump, he's so open about everything. This is the first time I've seen him so like reserved about anything, honestly, right? Yeah.
They painted themselves into a corner. Honestly, if this thing actually played out the way that I think it did, which is, because Maureen Comey is the one who tried the Diddy case, the Ghislaine Maxwell case, and would have tried the Epstein case had he not, you know, died.
Yeah.
So the file was definitely in her possession. She's James Comey's daughter, which means, I mean, she is an adversary of Trump. There's no conversation there for sure. And they had the ability to put whatever they want into that file. And so as the new DOJ comes in, they're like, give us everything you have on Epstein. And they're trying to hide it originally. And they keep putting pressure on him. You know, if you're James Comey, you're like, yeah, give him that fucking file and then put whatever you want in it. And then, you know, you potentially have him in a jackpot where if they release it all, it makes him look bad. But the word that just got released or got reported this week was that exactly what happened was Pam Bondi went to Trump and she's like, your name is in this a lot more than we anticipated. And then so Trump started saying like, okay, well then shut it down. But in that same article, it said that the source that claimed that also said that there's nothing that he's not implicated in any wrongdoing. He's just all over the file. And so if their purpose was to get everything they had on Epstein and then just kind of word vomit the entire thing out and just hand it to the public, and it's like Trump, that probably looks bad. Right. But it's a pretty bizarre way to go about it, though. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, you know, you're like, what are you guys talking about? The whole thing's a hoax. And everyone's all, you guys brought a bunch of influencers out here, gave them binders, called it Epstein Release Phase 1, and had them go, you know, like to all of their audience, and the only stuff you had in there was a bunch of stuff everybody already knew, you know?
I had a few of those influencers on the pod. They felt, well, the ones I talked to at least felt a little bamboozled.
I would assume
like
so.
They felt like they got played.
Yeah.
You know?
My honest opinion about what happened there is I don't think that Pam Bondi or Trump or those people who are in decision-making roles actually understood the culture of people online who have been after Epstein. I don't think they like got it.
Yeah, they underestimated that for sure.
They just didn't understand. So they're like, okay, well, we've got these flight logs, we've got this, they got this. And they've never gone on all these forums and looked and seen that, like, we all know that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, we all know this. So like they thought they're all, here you go, look at these flight logs. You know, they give us fancy binders, you know, and everybody looks at them, we're all cool. Like we've known about this on Reddit for 3 years, dude.
Yeah.
You know, I think that is probably what happened in that one. And then the other thing that I really don't understand though was when Pam Bondi comes out and says that she has 10,000 hours of videos of Epstein with children. That is exactly what she said.
Right.
And she's like, now we're reviewing them. You have a source that goes to Alex Jones and tells him that they have multiple people inside the FBI who are reviewing all these tapes because they need to watch all of them. 10,000 hours is an endless amount of horrific stuff to watch. And they're watching all of it so that they can compile all of it. And then all of a sudden they're like, yeah, we don't have anything. And actually what she was talking about was just run-of-the-mill dark web child. And you're like, that's not what you said at all, dude.
Right.
Like, so I don't know. It smells like someone who wasn't thinking this through very well was like, just kill the whole thing. You know, like that's how it sounds to me. Is like maybe Trump just came in and he's like, we got to just kill this whole thing, and then just walked out, and all of them are sitting there looking at each other. You know what I mean? They're like, what? Like, we can't just like kill the whole thing. He's like, I'll take care of it. And then writes this tweet, you know, and you're like, bro, this is a thing where you needed to understand the details before you started trying to put a lid on this, because now you made it 1,000 times worse.
There seems to be something evil they're hiding, bro, because I searched for hours on the internet looking for survivors because I wanted to have some on the pod, and I couldn't find anything.
That's the thing that has always blown my mind about this is, okay, so the Florida case, right, the original one, which should be a dividing line in like a timeline moment that everyone should take note of and then consider when they're evaluating everyone's behavior on this, which is when Epstein went down for the Florida case, even though he was given a...
The tri-light from Therisage is no joke. Medical grade red and near infrared light with 3 frequencies per light, deep healing, real results, and totally portable. It's legit. Photo biomodulation tech in a flexible on-body panel. This is the tri-light from Therisage, and it's next level red light therapy. It's got 118 high-powered polychromatic lights, each delivering 3 healing frequencies, red and near infrared, from 580 to 980 nanometers. It's sleek, portable, and honestly, I don't go anywhere without it.
Sweetheart deal. It's like from that moment forward, if you're associating with him after that, that's a completely different thing. If you're friends with him before that, even if, you know, we find out, okay, well, the guy was a scumbag. It's like, okay, but he didn't have a charge that he had pled guilty to. Soliciting sex from a minor? Dude, if one of my super close friends did that, you think that I'm just like, hey, bro, hey, did you get your... get done with your term in jail. Let's go watch a football game. You know what I mean? Like even a single count of that, you're like, bro, that's a wrap for us. You know what I mean? So, but in that case, there were 200 and it was either 200 or 250 victims.
Jeez.
And it was just a daisy train of these like young kind of 14 to, 13 to like 16 who were bribed by Epstein to bring new girls in. Ghislaine Maxwell would like make them feel comfortable. The girl, the new one, would always think that the one who brought them there was going to be in the room with them and they were going to be massaging him. And then boom, they just abandon her there. Like they just take her, oh, get your shirt off. He just likes it like this, whatever, Ghislaine and the other one. And then they would just leave her there alone with Epstein. And now you have a 14-year-old in the same situation that Weinstein would put these grown-ups in that they couldn't manage. So in that case, where are all those girls? Like, and then which ones of those are on the island? Like, where are these girls that were on the island? Are they alive? Like, do you know what I mean? Because like the island, you have no, I believe at least, the purpose of the island is it's in international waters. There's no government there, so there's no laws. That's the other thing that I've thought about. It's like, let's say that you found out that this person did whatever on the island. Like, can they be prosecuted? That happened in the middle of nowhere.
That's
like
a good point.
I honestly don't know. But yeah, where are the victims? Virginia Giuffre is the only one that everyone knew about. And she,
Blair White just had one on the pod, but yeah, they seem to be very few and far in between.
Yeah.
They seem very hard to find.
What happened in that conversation?
I didn't watch the whole thing, but she was just talking about all the things she went through, like getting like MK Ultra, honestly. Really? Yeah, some dark stuff.
And this girl was verified to have been like in these case files, like they're for sure real?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Blair does her research, so I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt on that.
Yeah, for sure. It's interesting because I saw so Sean Atwood had this girl on who said that she was the niece of Jeffrey Epstein, and I watched some of that one.
Yeah.
And it's possible, like, it was one of those ones where I'm watching, I'm like, really, dude? Like, because she's talking about satanic cults and Moloch and all that stuff. And that's all very publicly known if you've kind of dug into this thing.
Yeah.
I didn't hear anything that was new. And I don't have any way of verifying whether or not she's related to the guy. And at a certain point, like, this stuff is so monstrous I think that's why it's so hard for people to believe. It's like, could that really be true?
Right.
You know?
Yeah, you never know what's a distraction too these days, right?
Yeah.
Where they're trying to put your attention towards.
Totally.
I feel like that's a common tactic.
They're going to have a hard time doing that away from the Epstein case, though.
Yeah, it seems like it. People aren't forgetting this one.
Mm-mm.
Usually with like a breaking news, like goes away in 24 hours, but this one's not. People aren't forgetting.
Dude, I have a random question for you related to that.
Yeah.
So I've always wondered what people would do if out of nowhere they stopped even pretending to care what we think, like because I always thought, like, during COVID, when the people would kind of start to make noise, I was convinced by everyone's behavior during that period that, like, they would have complied with almost anything. Like, if they just were like, yeah, we're just, hammer down. And so, like, on a thing like this, they're like, bottom line, we're never going to talk about this case ever again. No one's ever going to talk about it. It's like, people would make noise, and I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I just don't know how much. I'm curious how much, like, the population's energy actually matters.
That's a good question.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. I mean, with social media, it's got to be amplified these days, right?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it's way harder to get away with stuff now
Yeah.
with social media.
And that's the thing that changed everything, was when Elon bought X and opened up what you could say on social media, because that was the thing that was so frustrating prior to that, was like, you get banned for anything.
Right.
And that's exactly, like, to your point, if they just decided, whoever's kind of making the phone calls, and they tell X, they're like, hey, we're done with this topic. And then they, do whatever they do. And anyone who says Epstein or Ghislaine Maxwell, it gets deranked. They're like, I don't know, I'm not getting any views on these, or your views are completely fake, or whatever they're doing to make it they could just shut down any conversation. But, I have a YouTube, like, partner manager.
Yeah.
And he's just like, yeah, I mean, if one platform allows people to, one of the main ones allows people to talk about this, that, or the other ones are forced into allowing it also.
That's true. I feel like YouTube's gotten a lot leaner, right?
I agree.
Same with Instagram, and
yeah,
TikTok's a weird one. I'm still.
I don't post there anymore, just like because they kicked me off the platform.
Yeah, I just got banned.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
I got reinstated, and then I was like, they demonetized me and then kicked me off for nothing. Do you remember when Conor McGregor put that video up where it was like, you could kind of tell that his girl was, like, giving him a head on the boat, but you can't see anything.
Yeah.
I put that up and they banned me. And I was like, it's literally a video of the horizon off of his boat. You just can barely see that there is, like, a head right there. So I don't know. I disputed it, and that's the one time that they overturned one. But I got community guidelines videos taken down so many times that I was like, okay, I'm done with this platform, man.
That was before his news got leaked, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Do you make any money on TikTok?
Nah, I was making like $1,000 a month, nothing crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't really care about it.
Yeah, it was never like a money driver.
I think
for me
YouTube
either.
and Instagram and Twitter, if you're in politics,
are
like the most important ones.
Yeah, I just focus basically all of my energy on YouTube.
YouTube. Yeah. That's where the money is. I mean,
yeah.
Shorts, I guess, are decent, but like the long forms where you make killing.
Yeah.
Did you post your debate with Destiny on your YouTube?
I posted part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not the full thing.
No, not the whole thing. For me personally, like, I wish I could have and had people actually watch it, you know, because it was like, but yeah, I mean, 90-minute videos, there's no one will click on it. No one will watch it. And it just hurts my, I put the part, because at the end of that conversation, we got into the COVID stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, he doesn't know anything, like he doesn't.
Was he pro-vax?
Yeah. Well, what his whole point was, he was like, he's like, the thing about how he frames things is he goes to the absolute most extreme version of what the right says. And then he poses, and then he will just, like, propose that as if that's your opinion, which is very challenging with me, because that's never my opinion. You know what I mean? And I ate him on that part, because it was like, anyway, yeah, because I just got into like what the states actually did. He didn't know anything about it. You know, he didn't know that New York had fired all the healthcare workers.
Wow.
He didn't even know that.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and he was like Googling it.
I hope you guys are enjoying the show. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps the show a lot with the algorithm. Thank you.
You know, and I'm like, yeah, dude, like, are you going to defend that? You know what I mean?
That's another thing. When he's debating, he's looking stuff up, right?
Yeah.
I noticed that.
Yeah. He's super smart, dude.
Yeah.
He's super smart. He's just, you know, I can't tell if he uses like X for rage bait or if he, you know, I'm pretty good at like evaluating people and what they're doing. And my read on him is that I think that he puts that stuff, like that crazy stuff on X because he knows that people are going to respond to it, talk about him, and it'll make him trend. Because you don't ever hear him say that shit in person. It's like, hey, talk about the fucking flood victims with me in person, guy.
Right.
You know what I mean? Say something about the dead babies in person with someone across you, even if it's not me.
Yeah.
Say it in front of a human. He never does that. So
yeah,
like,
he said they couldn't swim or something. I saw that.
He said a bunch of stuff about the flood victims.
And that happens every couple months with him. Something just outrageous he'll tweet and then it'll be viral everywhere.
Yeah. It's I mean, he doesn't see any repercussions from it, you know? Because like it's not like he's like kind of uncancelable in his space because like we were just talking about, who's the guy who's going to replace him? You have to have a smart left-wing person that's going to argue those positions to do these debates. And it's like, who's going to replace him?
Yeah. They struggle to have people do that, I guess, right? I don't know what it is about the left, but they just don't have good debaters.
They have some pretty tough positions to, you know, to defend in a lot of cases. The thing that's crazy too about now though, is like you have a lot of alignment between the right and the left, and yet they're still arguing with each other.
Right.
You know, it's like a lot of alignment. If you look at what, I mean, I never even touch on Palestine and Israel ever. I'm not going to now either. I just will comment on the fact that it seems like there's a lot of alignment on both sides, and
there is, yeah.
People are still arguing all the time.
It seems like most of the division right now is on the right because of the Epstein stuff, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't tell. Like, I think everybody's just mad that they're not getting to see what's coming out. But then since that moment where they said that, you know, oh, this is all a big hoax and it blew up in their face completely, they were like, oh, this is not going to work.
Yeah.
There have been now like stories coming. It's like, oh, Ghislaine Maxwell's testifying. And people are like, oh, they're just trying to distract. And it's like, yeah, but like she's talking, you know. I don't know what they're going to do with that information, but I'll tell you this, dude, if they pardon Ghislaine Maxwell, I'm out. Straight up, dude. Like, I'm out. Because like we were just talking about in the, you know, about what they did and how they ran that daisy trade in Florida. She is a monster.
Yeah.
She was taking like sophomores in high school and walking them into a room, and her role was to make them feel comfortable so that the pedophile in the other room could much more easily molest them without their pushback.
Crazy.
Pardon? Because she has some information. Like what I said on my channel, I was like, this is simple. If you want her to talk, you don't offer her incentives. You offer her a fucking stick. It's like, you're going to tell us what you know. We're going to put you in Supermax. You think anybody's going to give a fuck about you? If we put you in Supermax, what are they going to do? Nothing. No one will have your back. No one will care. So if you don't want that outcome, then you need to talk.
Yeah.
Commute her sentence. Pardon? Why? She's a monster. Would you commute Jeffrey Epstein? Would you pardon Jeffrey Epstein? It's exactly the same thing.
Who even knows what's been done to her, too? Like, she could have had her memories wiped. Like, who knows what sort of technology they have these days, you know?
I mean, I wish I knew, like, how the MK Ultra stuff actually worked, you know? It seems like, I mean...
A lot of theories around it with celebrities and politicians being programmed. Right?
Yeah. I mean, you know that, obviously, if you're a social media platform and you want to control the opinions of celebrities, that's easy. Because you control their feed.
Yeah.
You know, if you start showing people nothing but dead children in Palestine, what do you think their opinion is going to be? Or if you start showing them nothing but black people getting constantly beat up by police, what do you think their opinion is? Or if you start showing them nothing but black people beating up white people, what do you think their opinion is going to be? So you can very easily affect anyone's opinion if you target them specifically.
Right.
Most people are on an algorithm where it's like, it kind of gives you what they think that you want. But if it's someone that you want and you're going to target them, and these social media, they know exactly who's looking.
That's such a good point, because most feeds are promoting a lot of negativity, right?
Oh yeah.
Whether it's violence or like conspiracy theories or whatever, like it's just negative information.
It's what you interact with. It's as simple as that. It's like, it's what do they interact with it. So if someone went on and just as a test only interacted with videos of cats chasing birds, that's all they're going to show it. If you think about like what you're most likely to respond to, at least for me, it's, I see something that makes me mad, you know?
Yeah.
Instantly. It's like, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly my point with the Destiny thing. It's like, if he says, we need to, I remember the one that he's, where he's like, he said the thing about, he's like, did anyone check whether any of those girls that died in the flood were pregnant? Cause we need to get the death count right. And I immediately went on my channel and did a video where I was like, hey, this guy fantasizes about children, in case you guys forgot about that. It's just like tit for tat, dude. You want to talk about dead kids? I'll talk about the kids that you talked about. You know what I mean?
That was nuts. I just finished Gavin Newsom's episode with Stephen Bartlett. Did you see that one?
No.
Diary of a CEO. That's a good podcast. But yeah, Newsom looks like he's going to make a run in 28.
He's probably going to win.
You think he'll win?
I mean, I hope not. I hope not. But he is the only one, he's the only politician that I've seen that he understands the new game. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not complicated. Honestly, if you looked at how Kamala Harris ran her campaign, and you're like, Jennifer Lopez on a stage, Beyonce cares. You're like, do you not understand the world that you live in now? Social media killed that. You guys, that doesn't work anymore.
Yep.
You need people to actually like you. You know, if you're funny and you can share good ideas, people will feel like, oh, okay, maybe I can trust that guy. The like faceless, big balloon head celebrity thing, that doesn't work anymore. Gavin recognized that, and now he's on X doing memes of Trump and Epstein, like, AI videos that are making fun of it. It's like, you never saw politicians do that before. He's going on Sean Ryan. He's going on all these. Rogan's smart enough to know what he's doing, and Rogan doesn't want him to get elected. He's like, fuck you, you're not coming on my show. You know what I mean? At least thus far, I would expect him to not give him a platform, because he knows exactly what he is,
Yeah, he turned down Netanyahu. I saw that.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if he turned down Newsom too.
I saw Netanyahu's son say something about that. Yep. He's like, oh, well, if he had him on, all the anti-Semitic information that Rogan has shared on his show would now be wasted. I'm like, that's,
Rogan's like the most neutral host of all time.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, he has on Bernie Sanders, and then he'll have on like
Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
How are you going to attack him for that?
Well, they attack him because he platform. I mean, that's the big thing with the left, is like, you're going to give that guy a platform. That's like, they would always, they would call into these concerts where there's going to be conservatives putting on something. They're like, we need to shut it down. Or like at the colleges, we got to shut that down. It's like, don't give them a platform. And, the problem is that the neutral podcasters are like, okay, but that person's not an extremist. I'm going to have a conversation with them. And then, you can't pretend that a person is an extremist if they're not, for most people. Most people are like, yeah, no, I've watched him. He's definitely not that.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not a fan of the anti-Semitic label, because I see the hosts they attach that to, and most of them aren't actually that, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. They're talking about a nation state. I don't talk about Israel because I don't want issues with
monetization. Yeah.
Not even that. Just, they got a lot of power, man.
We'll
and
leave it at that.
I already know, like, that's why I stay off
politics in Austin? It's pretty blue there, right?
So the majority of like the podcasters that are kind of in our niche are, I think, kind of like me, which is, I consider myself independent. Like, there's, I voted for Obama twice, and then I ended up basically, building my entire, like, everything I was talking about politically going into 2024 was all Trump. Like, because it was just like, I don't know, if you were a free-thinking, independent person and COVID did not turn you absolutely, like, I wouldn't vote for these people if I was related to them. Oh. If they were in my family, I would have voted against them.
I mean, her own family did, I think.
Yeah. I mean, well, I know Tim Walz is
Tim
there.
Walz, yeah.
Yeah. But they just are going to, I think that there's a world where in 10 years, a lot of people, are like, I think that there's going to be like a reset politically. I think that, I think Trump basically broke the entire system.
Yeah.
Which is probably a very, very good thing. I'm really curious to see what what Bongino was referencing though the other day with that tweet.
That was super cryptic, right?
Yeah.
I've seen, what was it like? I've seen so much stuff that's...
I'll never be the same.
Yeah.
It's changed me forever.
I wonder if that's related to Epstein or if that's just something else.
Dude, it could be what Candace is covering. Like, you know, Candace is doing Pizzagate. That's what she's doing.
Really?
Like with the Brigitte Macron thing, that's where she's going.
Tied to Pizzagate?
That's where she's going.
Wow.
Elite pedophile rings that run the world. That's what Pizzagate is.
Yeah, she just got served a lawsuit from Macron, right?
Dumbest thing they could have ever done.
International lawsuit.
Absolutely dumbest thing they could have possibly done. Because it puts eyes on her. And if you watch her, it's exactly the same thing. It's like, they're like, oh yeah, she's talking all this crazy nonsense. You watch once, you're like, oh damn, this is the opposite of crazy. Mm-hmm. I don't know why anybody fucks around with Candace, dude. She'll eat him, dude.
She doesn't back down.
She'll eat him.
Yeah.
Suing Candace, like... Did you say, like, I watched her last night and she was talking about it and you could just tell like she had a smile. Like she is so excited that they sued her. She absolutely loves it. She loves it.
It's crazy that story got Trump involved too.
Yeah.
Trump gave her a call.
Dude, how bananas is that? I was telling my mom about that last night. It's like Macron is in there. I think it was a Ukraine peace deal. Mm. And he's like, well, we're not going to do this unless you get Candace Owens to stop talking about Brigitte. It's like cartoon world, dude.
The power of alternative media, man.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
Podcasts have that pull now.
Yeah.
Do you think we're living in a simulation? I
do, actually. Well, I mean, who knows, dude?
Everything feels so scripted, right?
Yeah. It's not necessarily scripted. I think that have you ever used VR headsets?
Yeah, I've used Oculus.
Okay, so the first time that I put on a VR headset is when I started very seriously considering simulation theory, just because it's like, if you can have all of your senses fully immersed right now by putting some device, so you're essentially just putting a television over your head.
Yeah.
And you think about where things are going currently, where you got Neurolink, you already know they're trying to put the computer inside of your brain. You have super intelligence over here. You have AI that's going to basically be able to build anything digital at a speed that is unfathomable to us now. You know, you have thousands of people working on these systems and it takes them years to build them. They'll be able to build it in like 6 minutes, like not even in that near or that distant future.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are terrified about where AI is going to go and whether or not the AI is going to turn on us and kill us. My opinion, honestly, is I think that's humans projecting humanity onto the AI. Because humans are like, well, what if they hurt us and then we go bomb them? Like, which seems psychopathic when you really think about it. So if AI is not that, and AI does work symbiotically with humanity, what I believe about where VR comes into this is like, the thing about virtual reality is that you're inside the virtual reality. And it's like, at a certain point, we're gonna be like, well, what if you could be in there and you didn't know? You know, because the next thing to solve for is like the touch. Right now you have sound and vision. Then they'll solve for touch. And then it's going to be like, well, what if you could not realize you're in a simulation or a virtual reality thing? And then also, life is very short. 80, or I think the average lifespan is like 75 years for men in the United States. That's crazy short. Well, what if you could also condense time? So you can go into a simulation where you can experience 80 years in what is actually an hour.
Whoa.
And at that point, you don't need to 3D print new organs for people. You don't need to maintain people's organs forever. You just need to have them, just hook them up and you can live forever.
That'd be nuts.
Live forever, you
Holy
know?
Crap.
And my theory on that also has to do with like, so you know the near-death experience thing?
Yeah.
Where people not all, but many people report a tunnel and then their loved ones, a younger version of their young ones, and they're like, hey, it's not your time. So my hypothesis on what that could be is a program to ease you out of the experience that you've been in for 75 to 80 years. Because imagine how jarring it would be if you just lived 80 years and on the other side, you're this other person, you know, and you come out and it's just like, you know, like a way that they ease you out, but then those people end up back alive, so they don't go through the entire process. I mean, who knows about what the nature of reality is, but if I had to bet on it, that's kind of where my brain goes. Because think about it, VR, AI, and all of that in 1,000 years. You think they won't be able to do that?
Can't even comprehend that.
Exactly.
It's advancing so fast. I don't even think it'll take 1,000.
Oh, I don't either.
Like,
I'm just saying at 1,000, it's like, of course we'll be able to do all that stuff.
yeah.
You know,
Would you ever get a Neurolink?
Oof. It depends. I'll let someone else get it first.
Yeah, facts.
You know, I'll let someone else get it first and then tell me, someone I trust, and then be like, okay, what's it like? And if they're like, oh my God, it's
well, the guy that's paralyzed that has it seems like he's loving it. Have you seen that?
no, tell me about it. So there are people who have them in, and I haven't actually looked at it. Tell me about it.
So one guy's in a wheelchair, but he has it, and he can use his thoughts to play chess, play like video games. It's nuts, dude.
Man, that is wild.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like he can't move his arms, but he can use his thoughts to like actually play games and everything. There's videos of him playing chess, I believe.
See, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You combine those technologies in a not so distant future. Maybe you put them in a simulation and they don't realize it.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was a movie about condensing time like that that I watched. It was like this. It was kind of like a low budget science fiction movie, but it was where if so that you can be put in prison and not actually lose your life, right? So it's like you get a 10-year sentence and they would drop this stuff in your eye and they would do 10 years in prison when actually what was like 30 seconds.
Whoa.
So it was like the punishment, and inside of the experience, they were just in this box that had a clock, and they just sat there in this box looking and just waiting for 10 minutes. And also, have you seen the Black Mirror episode, White Christmas?
Which one was that?
It's the one where they're inside a simulation and the guy is he's trying to extract information from this guy of where he buried these bodies or whatever, but like he's telling his story, and they create a digital clone of a person's brain and they put them inside of this device, and the device is supposed to like make everything much easier for the real person. So the real person has no idea that there is another clone version of themselves inside of this thing being forced into slavery, and they have to like work all these gears to like set up their appointments and do all of this stuff. But the way that he gets the clone mind to do it is he can just press this button and make them experience an astronomical amount of time by themselves in that room. So they're like, are you sure you're not going to do it? They're like, no, all right, let's see how you feel about it in 3 weeks. And then so the person just sits there in this white room for 3 weeks. And then when he comes back, then he makes it 6 months. And then it's like, boom. And then he gives them 1,000 years. And they've just, they just lose their mind. It's like
crazy, right?
Yeah.
Holy crap. That's trippy, bro.
Yeah.
So if you believe in simulation theory, would that rule out believing in aliens for you?
No, not at all. The alien thing, I just have no idea. The cases that are credible to me are so credible that I don't know what to do, but I don't know what they are. Do you know about the Phoenix Lights?
No.
So in March of 1997, I believe there was a comet that was going over Phoenix that night. And so everybody was outside looking up at the stars. And starting like soon as it was kind of like dark or whatever, they're over the Scottsdale and Phoenix Basin, this craft that was a mile wide, according to everybody. They're like, you can't fathom how big this thing was. It was like a triangle, flew over it, dead silent. The biggest thing they've ever seen. It was flying super slow, like too slow to be propelled by, fuel or anything. Every single person, there was 10,000 witnesses. Every single one of them, without fail, said it's impossible that humans built this thing, including Fife Symington, who was the governor and was also in the Air Force. And he's like, humans didn't build this, whatever this thing was. It's like the most credible,
10,000 is no joke.
10,000.
Because I get skeptical when it's like 1 or 2 people.
Exactly.
10,000 is nuts.
Yep. And like the military ones are also good if it doesn't seem to be an obvious like psyop, So like there's one in the Rendlesham Forest that happened in the 80s, and it was at one of our nuclear weapon sites. And there's so many reports of UFO interaction with our nuclear weapon sites.
I heard that.
And this one in particular happened over multiple nights where they had UFOs hovering over the, I guess, what do you, like where they have all the ICBMs. And then there was something in the forest, and these guys went out there kind of to see what was going on. And there was multiple nights, multiple experiences, super credible guys. One of them was a colonel responsible for guarding our nuclear weapons. Like, who's more credible than that? Right. And I've seen him talk about it. I've seen the other guys talk about it. And there were 3 guys who came up on a craft that was on the floor or on the ground, like hovering above the ground. And they walked around it for 45 minutes. They wrote down these like symbols that were on it. And then after 45 minutes, they said that it just went, and then, and like the guy, it's hard for the guy to even talk about it. It wigged him out so much.
Jeez.
But that one, I believe. And then the Travis Walton story is the one, you seen the movie Fire in the Sky? You know what that is?
Heard of it, I think.
It's the one abduction story that I believe, you know, that I
think I heard of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the abductions one's hard for me. I mean, it could totally be true, but to your point, one person telling you that they got it, it's always hard that it's like, okay, well, this person could be crazy or trying to get attention or whatever. But the Travis Walton story, there were 7 lumberjacks also in Arizona.
Yeah.
And they were leaving their work site for the night, and they drive by and they saw this gigantic flying saucer that was down in the forest. And this dude, Travis Walton, who was crazy, he's 23 years old or something, jumps out of the car, starts sprinting towards this flying saucer. All of his people are like, get back in the car. And they said that like there was like a flash of light and he went flying across the forest like 100 yards. They said he's dead for sure.
Jeez.
And they took off. Then they spazzed out and kind of all came back. All of them have passed 100 lie detectors on this. They come back and he's gone. So he shows back up in the town like 4 or 5 days later. And what he said had happened was he woke up and he was on board this craft. And they were like, he said there were like creatures that were like working on him. He was on Rogan. I watched him tell this entire story on Rogan. And I'm like, all these guys pass lie detector tests. He seems to be telling the truth. It's, I don't know. That's the one abduction story. And if that one's true, the reason they would have taken him on board is they fixed him. Like they would have accidentally hurt him and then taken him on board, fixed him, and then dropped him back off. So like, I don't know what that would indicate. Maybe they're from the future and they're not allowed to interact with us so they don't, you know, mess up the timelines or who knows. I have no idea what they are, but I do believe some of those are real, and I don't even know what to make of what it actually is.
7 people passing lie detector tests?
Like a bunch of lie detector tests
Holy crap.
over decades. This happened, I mean, he's like, when he was on Rogan, he's like 70 or something. It happened when he was 23. They've lie detected these guys a million times. They've always passed.
I don't see a reason for 7 random lumberjacks to lie about it.
Certainly not for this long.
Yeah, for decades. Right?
Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy.
You should look that one up. Look up the Travis Walton Rogan and watch it, and it's like, it's wild, dude.
I need to see that one for sure. Yeah. I always wondered if they're from just us from the future or if they're from different planets.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, because the other thing that they seem to report consistently is that they can feel that they're communicating with them with their minds.
Telepathy, right?
Yeah. And that's what he reported that as well, that he said that he could feel them trying to calm him down because he freaked out and he like jumped off, and I don't know, I'll let you watch the whole thing, but that would make sense though. I mean, they have these tiny little mouths, these huge eyes, because if they communicate telepathically, why would they need mouths? And if they have a small mouth, that sounds like evolution hasn't taken the mouth all the way. Very likely could have been us in the future. Who knows?
That's nuts. Let's end off with some UFC MMA stuff.
Let's do it.
One of my guests, Colby Covington.
Yeah.
Is it true he wanted to see you at one point?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I am totally unaware of that, if that's true.
Did you piss him off or something?
No, I said that I did videos because I didn't believe that him and Masvidal's beef was real.
Yeah.
You know? And yeah, he definitely doesn't want to sue me now because like Chael Sonnen is my boy. And after Colby's last fight, I sent a message to Colby, like, because Chael was cornering him.
Yeah.
So like me and Colby are definitely cool now.
Oh, okay.
I don't even know if we weren't cool ever, but we're definitely cool now. But yeah, I just didn't buy it, dude. They were best friends, like inseparable, closest friends in the world. And when that beef started, it was right when Colby started doing the act, you know?
Yeah.
And I mean, I compiled all these clips where I'm like, look, dude, he was trying to do the act and they kept on asking him about, they're like, you just talked all this shit about Masvidal. Isn't he your best friend? And he's like, yeah, he's my best friend, but I could say what I want. And I was like, I guarantee you after that interview, they went to each other. He's like, this is not going to work. Like, I can't be this guy and also have this like super close best friend. He's like, we got to do a beef. And, but who knows? I mean, like when they ended up fighting, I went to that fight.
Yeah.
Still 100% convinced that they were still best friends. And I don't know. It was just like,
even after the restaurant fight they got in.
So this was before that.
Oh, this was before.
This was right before that. The restaurant fight, I have theories on that I can't talk about. But I'm still 50. As soon as Colby retires, I'm going to start asking people questions, dude. Because I know they won't tell me while he's still active, but, you know, I'm still not convinced.
Most of the beefs are fake, if we're being honest. I mean,
that one would be the most masterfully executed fake beef ever if it's fake. But there's like a court case and everything with him punching him.
I think it's real, though.
It has to be real now.
Legal's involved.
Yeah. Now, that's what I was saying. Like, once he punched him, I still didn't believe it. I was like, this is some kind of... But I think at this point, like there was he took a charge, and I'm sure it's real.
I've had them both on like separately, and I didn't ask them about it because I didn't know.
They would have told you that it's
I try
real.
not to bring legal stuff in on episodes.
Oh, it was after that?
Yeah, it was recently, a few months ago. I don't know if they settled yet or something.
Yeah, I can't remember. I don't know I don't know what happened financially, but I think George's got pled down to like a misdemeanor or something.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've heard Colby is like super nice off camera.
The nicest guy.
Everybody says that.
The nicest guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's one of those things as a fighter, you got to brand yourself. So I get it from a business point of view.
Yeah.
The only real beef I remember is Jones and Cormier.
Oh, they hate each other for sure.
Yeah, they still do.
Yeah. That is but that honestly, that is I'm convinced that is like two guys who only know how to be champions in the division at the same time. They're going to have problems. They're in different gyms. If those two guys were different weight classes in the same gym, they'd be best friends.
You think so?
I really do. I think that would probably be good for Jon Jones's life too, because Cormier would be a good influence on his decision making.
Yeah.
You know?
You excited about these White House fights they're talking about?
Yeah, I would love if they would actually put Jon Jones in that fight. You know?
Yeah.
I completely understand Dana's position though. The White House event, they can't have any problems. They can't have anybody kind of wash out. And if you think about how many times that's happened with Jones is the greatest fighter of all time. He ran through everybody at light heavyweight, at heavy. I still am confused why he retired all of a sudden. I think it was probably because of that case that happened right afterwards. But I said at the time, I'm like, I bet you he'll still come back. But it's hard to risk. Even though him versus Aspinall is obviously the biggest fight you could possibly put on. Yeah. And with the U.S. government paying for it, you could pay them whatever. You know what I mean? They literally could pay them whatever. You don't have to worry about the pay-per-view sales.
Yep.
The government's going to pay for it. They can, make a deal that lets
Tens
them
of millions each probably
put on whatever show you want.
Yeah.
But the one thing you can't risk is the main event doesn't happen, and you have to get like a backup or whatever. But I hope that they do if they let Jon Jones fight, obviously. It's so weird that you have Tom Aspinall fighting Cyril Gahn for the heavyweight title where you're like, really? Like that's the best they got after Jon Jones?
Easy win for him, right? Aspinall.
If he wrestles, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They showed Cyril Gahn getting ragdolled by Imamov the other day, who's an 85er.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be an easy fight for him,
I think so.
You've been watching Power Slap too, or no?
No.
I noticed a lot of the true fighters don't like Power Slap.
The thing is, when you actually watch it, it's not as bad as if you just, because like when you just watch the highlights, because they always put the people just getting stretched on there. And I was like, man, I don't like that, dude. Even when I'm watching a UFC fight, obviously when someone gets flatlined like that, you go crazy. But at the same time, you're like, at least if you know anything about fighting, you're like concerned for them, where it's like you go nuts and then you look, especially if do you go to shows live a lot?
I go to UFC, yeah.
Yeah, so like the part they don't show you on television is how fucked up the guy is after the fight. Like guys that get finished are so fucked up and they never show that on television. Yeah. And so I don't know, when I see guys, do especially that one where their body folds in half and then they fall just like, or their arms are out. I'm like, gosh, and because the nature of it that they're not defending themselves. But again, when you actually watch Power Slap, they don't always get knockouts. So it makes it not quite as bad as I originally thought, but I don't watch it personally.
What about bare knuckle? Like what's your favorite thing to watch right now, I guess?
UFC
sports?
for sure.
UFC still?
Always.
Because there's a lot of talk how they're losing their superstars right now. It's a new era.
I feel like the UFC doesn't want superstars anymore. Not like Conor level, the Jones level, the Nate level, because once these guys are that big and they're that rich, it's impossible to get them to fight.
True.
You know what I mean? It's because like the motivation where people are always taking fights is they need the money.
Right.
And even if you're paying guys $1 million a fight, $1 million, pay your team, pay your taxes, all of that stuff. That's not like put your feet up money. Start paying guys $8, $9, $10, $12 million every fight, dude. And they fight twice in a year. Guy makes $18 million that year, and then they do that for 2 years. And you call them, you're like, hey, they're like, I don't know, man. I don't know. And Conor, way more money. He spends much more money, but also you haven't seen him since
7 years, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's an interesting take.
Or last time he fought was 21.
21?
Yeah, he fought in January and July of 21. Yeah.
Is that when he broke his leg, or was that? Yeah. That's a tough injury.
He's 37, dude.
Holy shit.
Isn't that nuts?
That's
his
nuts.
37th birthday, and I'm like, man, he said, I'm sure that he has business interests that are fine for him, where he'll be fine either way. But yeah, for fight fans, it's unfortunate.
He's good. Yeah. He sold his liquor company, I believe, for 9 figures.
I think I heard that he made personally like 183. If it's a pretty exact number, but like
shit.
I'm pretty sure. I think they sold it for 400, and his end was 183. You could spend that money though, dude. That's like 183 million. At least what it appears like he spends, how he spends money. I mean, you could spend that money for sure. But I think he's got other money coming in. This whole thing with with that Nikita Hand case though, that crushed him. All of his sponsors pulled.
Oh shit.
Because Proper 12, I don't know the exact figures, but they were for sure still paying him 7 figures a month minimum, pulled.
Damn.
All of his sponsors
all
pulled.
From that nude that got leaked?
No. For the case in Ireland.
Oh, wow.
Which I don't believe, for the record. I don't think that he did it. Basically in any case where there's footage that would either confirm or deny the two conflicting stories, if one side wants to play the footage and the other side is filing injunctions to block it, the person who's filing the injunctions is lying. And that's exactly what she's doing. It's like in her story, this thing that Conor did was brutal, like really gnarly and brutal. And she has injuries, which is why everybody, initially believed it. But then you're like, okay, well, what did she do after that? And I mean, per everyone, she stayed at this hotel. Conor left. This is all on camera. Conor left the hotel. She stayed there for another six hours partying with Conor's friend, and supposedly went up and had sex with Conor's friend also. The entire time that she's there, she's coked out of her mind, and she's texting her guy at the time, sending these paragraphs of just lies upon lies upon lies upon lies. And you're like, what credibility does she have? And then when Conor wanted to show the security footage of her afterwards at the place, hanging on guys, kissing on their neck for hours and hours and hours, they wouldn't allow him to play it.
Wow.
And then they filed an injunction where he couldn't play it publicly. And I'm like, dude, she's fucking lying, dude.
So nuts.
It's like circumstantial, but human behavior, certain things are like, that's not circumstantial. No one would do that. If this guy beat you up and you, there is no fucking way that you're all, well, what am I going to do next? You're all, I'm going to just stay here and party. He left, and you're just going to stay there and party for 6 hours, and be hanging all over and dancing? Come on, dude.
Yeah, it's just nuts how they weaponize this against men, right? Russell Brand from 25 years ago.
That one, I definitely don't believe.
25 years ago.
Yeah. I mean, listen, if a guy does that, you should bury him under the jail. But yeah, I mean, Conor wanted to run for president of Ireland, dude. I'm sure nobody over there wants him to be president. And also because she had the injuries, and I have no idea where she give me that's the only part that I can't kind of reconcile. But the injuries that could have come from somewhere else, the behavior, give me a break, dude.
Yeah.
The Russell Brand one is gnarly, especially if the origin of that was a group of, leftist journalists reading his book and then starting to call all these girls from inside the book, and then cultivating this story, where and I can't remember exactly how it went, but they tricked these girls. Like they told this, oh, did he ever choke you? Did he ever do whatever? Just kind of that kind of stuff. And they're like, well, that all these other girls are saying that he choked them and it was against their will, whatever. Got one to say that, say this because she thought that there was a bunch of people saying it. And then they go back to the other ones and no, we got this one saying this. And it was like,
that's nuts.
And do you believe Russell Brand would do that?
I don't think so, man. I've met him. So I might be biased, but it's just fishy to me how it's so long ago.
Mm-hmm.
And would that have happened if he wasn't successful?
and talking about the things he's talking about.
You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying, dude. Certain topics, I don't talk about
topics,
them, dude.
Yeah.
You know, I don't talk about him.
Common theme with all these people that get hit with this rape charge. It's like Andrew Tate, Russell Brand, Connor.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, luckily, I've been married for 17 years. They're going to have to go way back if they want to try to find somebody to pretend that I did that.
They did it with Russell, though, man. You got to.
Yeah.
You might as well text your exes now.
Well, luckily, I've never done that. So, you know, they would just have to completely fabricate it, like, out of left field. But, you know, yeah.
These days, you're better safe than sorry, man.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I'm on good terms with everybody, dude. I've never had, like, there are no girls that I'm on bad terms with, you know?
Yeah. Well, the Tate one was crazy because they exposed one of them, got paid $100,000. Did you see that?
No. Oh, I read the head. Tell me about it.
Yeah. So she got paid $100,000 to, like, make these allegations about him, basically. And they tracked the money and, like, found evidence of it. Crazy, right?
And they put him in Romanian prison.
Yeah. That's no joke.
These guys don't play, man. That's what I'm saying. That's why there's certain things I'm like, look, I'm all for say what you think, but there are certain things it's like, dude,
why put your family involved? You know,
exactly.
I'm the same way for sure.
Yeah.
Well, Jesse, it's been cool, man. Can't wait to do more with you in the future. Where can people find you?
Jesse on Fire on YouTube, and then on X and Instagram. Real Jesse on Fire is my handle. Cool. TikTok, I'm there, but I don't post there very often.
Thanks for coming on, man.
Thanks, man. Pleasure.